What's up, Bigfooters? Another outdoorly enthused folks. My name is Brady, and today I'm going to be checking out the Jed Johnson Lake and water tower. There is the water tower out in the distance back there. I'm going to be hiking up to it today. Not that far of a hike. It looks much farther away on the camera. It's not going to be too bad. But it is said that this water tower, and maybe even the lake in general, are haunted. I'll get into the story a little bit more when we get up there, but creepy stuff, man. I'm gonna go check it out and see if we can find anything interesting, be it ghost or just anything else cool. Hopefully we'll get a pretty cool view of the lake, see some cool stuff along the way. So we're gonna head up there right now, check that spot out, and then later we're gonna just drive around a little bit, see if we can find any other spots to check out. So right now I'm just gonna make my way up there. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, let's go. Now, I'm not sure how long exactly this hike is, but I've heard that it's not too bad. Only about a mile or so, I think. Fortunately, I have this place all to myself for right now. I tried coming out here over Labor Day weekend, but it was just way too busy. The parking area was completely packed with people, but right now, I'm the only person here, so I have this place all to myself. I'm just keeping my eyes peeled for any longhorns hidden in this grass, because this is the type of spot where they definitely like to hang out. We've got two different paths. This one is pointed towards the water tower, but I think this one actually goes to the water tower. I think this one just leads to the lake. The one on the left looks pretty short, so we'll check that one out first. Well, there's definitely animal tracks all over the place. There's tons of human and animal traffic all along the bank of this lake. Already this spot is just full of turtles and frogs and grasshoppers and dragonflies, all kinds of things. There's bison tracks all over in the mud, deer tracks, coyote tracks, human tracks. Just, this is a popular bank for all walks of wildlife. I'm keeping an eye out for rattlesnakes and water moccasins. There's the tower right there. We're pretty close. Shouldn't be too much longer before we reach it. Now, on the one hand, I do really appreciate having a spot all to myself and having no other human traffic in the area. But on the other hand, being out here all by yourself, it's pretty dang creepy. And there's all sorts of biological landmines out here. There's cactus, there's various species of venomous snakes, there's coyotes, there's elk, there's deer, poison ivy, huge bison and longhorn that can run you over. And in this particular area, maybe a ghost, depending on whether or not this place is haunted. So there's also adding that to the mix. There's also the occasional mountain lion in the Wichitas. Now the mountain lions are super rare. You're probably better off seeing a Bigfoot in the Wichitas than seeing a mountain lion. They are rare, but they do live here. So that's always in the back of your head whenever you're out here. Fortunately, for safety's sake, there's no bears out here. There's the lake behind me. I'm right next to the tower. Should be just a couple more minutes. There's Mount Scott in the distance. Whew, excellent view. Let's keep going. Alright guys, I finally made it to the Jed Johnson Lake water tower. Now, it's said that this water tower is actually haunted. There are many different versions of the story, but the version of the story that I've heard is that supposedly way back in the day, a woman was looking out of one of the windows in the water tower and actually fell off and fell to her death. And ever since then, the woman has been haunting this water tower and maybe even the entirety of the Jed Johnson Lake area. People have been reporting seeing shadowy figures in the windows of the tower and hearing screams while on the lake. I believe another version of the story states that a woman drowned in this lake, and ever since then she's been haunting the lake. But I think the main story has to do with a woman falling out of this water tower. Now, I'm not really sure about ghosts. I find hauntings and ghosts interesting, but I don't really know if they're real. They're not my main forte, and I don't really know a whole lot about ghosts. But that would definitely be creepy to look up there and see somebody looking down at you through that window. especially since nobody is allowed into this tower. The doorway is completely sealed off. There's not even a door there anymore. So there is absolutely no way anybody is getting up into that water tower. Most people would do like a paranormal investigation, but I don't really know how to do those. Now, I don't really know how to naturally explain away the shadowy figures in the windows, other than somebody just seeing something or thinking they're seeing it when they're not actually. But my hypothesis has always been that people have been hearing these screams on the lake, and they've actually been hearing Sasquatches in the area. And since this place has a haunted reputation, they assume that it's coming from the tower and that it's ghost related. I think it's possible that in actuality, there could be a Sasquatch on one of these ridge lines or in these mountainsides, and people are actually hearing the vocalizations from those Sasquatches. Now, as for the figures in the window, I do not know. Well, I guess that's it for the water tower. That's my thing with paranormal places. I've been to a lot, but I never really know what to do while I'm there. You just kind of show up and... Yep, there it is. I mean, unless I were to come back here after dark, which is illegal, so I can't do that. I mean, I can't come up here after dark, do like EVPs and whatever else ghost hunters do with flashlights and all that jazz. Since this place closes after dark, I just can tell you guys about the story. That's about it. It's definitely cool. Haunted or not, it's definitely a water tower with plenty of history attached to it. So that by itself is just really cool. Is it haunted? I don't know. Maybe if I can find any witnesses that have had any haunted activity around this area, I can interview them or something. But I don't know, man. I'm not getting a whole lot of creepy vibes other than just being out here by myself. Nothing specifically from the tower, but definitely interesting. Alright guys, I decided to make my way on down to Caddo Lake in the Wichita Mountains. I've stopped by here one or two times just to look at it, but I've never checked this spot out for bigfooting. It would be an excellent spot for fishing. I really wish I brought my poles. But I decided to come down to this particular spot because a local researcher, Mike, from my Elk Mountain video, informed me that he's been coming down here and hearing vocalizations, whoops, samurai chatter. And after looking at this place, I can definitely see why. We have one of my favorite places in the Wichita Mountains, Elk Mountain, right behind us, and this would be an excellent spot for them to wander down in during the evening and get some water. Not only for water, but this place is absolutely stocked full of potential food sources. Just walking around along the banks, you have to be watching where you're stepping, otherwise you'll literally step on a frog. There are frogs everywhere along the shoreline. This shoreline is absolutely littered with frogs and toads and turtles and snakes. And this looks like an excellent pond for fish, so that introduces another food source. There's also crawdads and a bunch of other little creepy crawlies found throughout the pond. I can definitely see why they would wander down here. I could see them wandering down here at night and in the evenings and staying in those trees right across the pond as they wander down from Elk Mountain. So this place is absolutely excellent for Sasquatches. Alright guys, the sun is just starting to set over that mountain back there. And look who decided to come pay me a visit. I heard something walking in the grass over here, but I just assumed it was more grasshoppers, but I come out here and this big guy's standing out there waiting to surprise me. This is exactly why bigfooting is so great, because you get to be out in the wilderness, and even though you may not experience Bigfoot activity a lot of the time, you still get to see really cool things like this. So as you can tell, the sun is setting, the moon's getting high in the sky. Elk Mountain back there. I think this is where the Sasquatches would be approaching from, if any decide to approach tonight. Now I can't stay once the sun goes down because the spot closes at sunset. So hopefully we hear or see something before then. Alright guys, the sun's getting real low. The sun just dipped behind that mountain back there. So hopefully if something's gonna happen, it happens here pretty soon. Otherwise we're gonna have to leave. Unfortunately, we have to head out once it gets dark. All right, there they go. Oh, that's so cool. I love Bigfoot. Oh, it's so cool. So for these last few minutes as the sun finishes up its descent, I'm just gonna be sitting on this rock here, just with my eyes fixed on those trees over there, seeing if I can see or hear anything. I'm hopeful, but I don't think anything's gonna happen tonight. At least nothing that I'll be able to witness, since this place is closed after dark. I'm sure they'll be coming down here once I'm gone, well into the night. I'm gonna try some calls in a last-ditch effort to get some activity. Hopefully I'll get a response. Whoop! Woo! I just tried doing a couple of whoops on the side of this pond, and unfortunately I did not get any responses, so I think that's going to put an end to today's trip. Night has just about fallen, and I don't want to be caught out here after dark. One, because my headlights aren't very good, and two, because you're not supposed to be out here after dark, and I obviously don't want to get a ticket. But I think this is definitely a promising location. I just wish I was able to stay out here a little bit longer. So that's going to put an end to today's trip. I had an excellent day. We saw that haunted tower over by Jed Johnson Lake. That was really cool to see. I've read a lot about it, so it was really cool to see in person. And then we had the opportunity to check out this spot, and that was really cool. But as the sun sets on these mountains, so does it set on this adventure. But I hope to see you guys again on my next adventure. But really, with that said, I think that's going to about wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep squatching.